of different energies there.
Yes.
Episode
Well, I
926.
usually come in hot, and you usually come in all like that. So I
That's
thought I would
true.
mix it up.
Well,
And plus,
it's
doesn't my
because-
voice sound deep today?
Yeah, it sounds like you went to Pride last week.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
You're recovering.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Proud?
I'm feeling so proud.
I noticed this rainbow behind you on the shelf.
Oh yes, it's a little
Very
it's
cute.
a little vase too. It
I
holds
love that.
flowers. Isn't
Super
it pretty?
cute.
Look at that.
Mhm.
With the so there you go. Yeah, extra gay, because now all the Pride stuff is 50% off. So I got it on sale. And
Extra
there's
gay and
nothing I
extra
love.
frugal.
Yes, more than
I love
gay
that.
and on sale. But yeah, I'm feeling great. I have some. Well, I just got what I love is I love like swag, but I
Yeah.
love swag that's like useful and things that you want.
Of course.
And there are always so many fun gay stickers
Oh,
during
yes.
Pride, where like they have them out on the tables.
You
And they
get
always
any
say fun,
treasures?
so many treasures, and rainbow-colored carabiner. I mean,
Oh, my gosh.
hello,
It's all downhill from here.
I love it. Just like
That's
pride
great.
flags. I love the gay swag. I
Wow,
love
gay
rainbow
swag,
color.
that makes
Everything
sense.
is just super fun.
I'm glad you guys are sticking with that, too.
Yeah, it's great.
I was afraid it would get co-opted or, I don't know, backlash. But
No,
that rainbow is hanging in
Yeah, I
there.
think we're solid with the rainbow.
Okay.
There are also, I learned so much about other rainbow, like that there are all the different
Flags?
gender, sexualities, categories represented in different flags that I
Yes.
had no idea. So
Yeah, there's a flag for everything.
there
we
really
need
is
a flag.
for everything. Why don't we? We should have a brain candy flag.
We've
I
really
feel
let
like we
this
could
slip
make
through
this.
the cracks.
This-
This is classic, Sarah. We could make this.
Yeah, this is classic me. I'm like, oh, we could make a flag. Like, look, we already kind of have the colors. They're similar to like trans colors. They're like white, black,
That's right.
teal, pink.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, it writes itself.
yeah, we got it.
Okay, before we carry on, our beloved Adam behind the scenes,
Yes.
has said that maybe it would be useful for me to say, like, here's what I will be talking about today.
Oh,
He
that's
really
fun.
is, like, he's
Yes.
really into this idea.
I like this idea.
It's like a little teaser.
And it's like a table of contents.
Yes,
the
exactly.
episode.
And that way, let's say you freaking hate books with all your heart.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't want to hear about a book I'm talking about. Maybe you want to skip ahead to the poop cruise, which I will be talking about.
Oh, thank God. Or maybe you don't want to hear about the poop cruise yet because you want to watch it first and then come back to it.
Right. Yeah, you don't want
Then you could do that.
spoilers.
There you go.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. So here are some of the things on my agenda.
Oh, I love an agenda.
I mean, hoping we get to some or all of it.
Yeah.
We'll be talking about the incredible 5 stars documentary on HBO Max, My Mom Jayne, about Jayne Mansfield, mother of Mariska Hargitay.
Ah, okay.
Insert Law and Order theme song, dun dun dun, or whatever it is. That's it. That's the one. I cannot tell you how great that doc was, so we got to talk about that. I would like to talk about the Poop Cruise, which is on the Trainwreck series on Netflix.
Yes.
I would love to talk about the Sally Ride documentary.
Yes.
But did you watch it? I can
No.
save it for you. Okay. And then I want to talk about the birthday effect, which is where statistically some people believe that you are more likely to die on your birthday.
My grandma died the
I know. I was thinking about her.
morning of her 99th birthday.
Okay. We're going to talk about that. It's very exciting.
Okay.
Sarah's already excited.
I love our table of contents.
See, Adam's always right. I should always listen to him.
Yes.
He's going to love that clip. He's going to turn that into a meme, into like a GIF,
Table of contents.
an audio clip.
Yeah, because now you're getting me excited. Oh, this is very exciting
she's
for me.
stoked already.
This, yeah, I love everything about this, and I'm going to be excited to tell you mine. Okay, continue.
She's into it.
What are we waiting for?
I know. Okay.
Table of
So, do you have any more personal stories? Because I do not want to dive into the brain and the
No,
candy.
they're
if you-
done.
All of a sudden, she's not gay pride anymore. All right. Fine. I will say, however, that Sarah and I saw each other just a few days ago.
Yeah. That's the important thing to say.
It was joyous.
Yes.
As always.
Always.
And a couple of things that I love about Sarah are that we ended up staying in a hotel, even though I live in the city, because there was a hotel room that was available. And we were like, yeah, it's closer to the venue. It's closer, blah, blah, blah. It's easier. We don't have to worry about an Uber. And here's what's fun. We go to the hotel and it's late enough that a lot of restaurants are closed, but we're hungry, or I'm hungry at least. And so it could go either way. Are we going to hit the sheets, or are we going to try to find some grub? And so I was like, Sarah, I need two things, food and alcohol.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay, let's do it. And then out we go. And I just thought, what a beautiful thing where I could have said just as easily, hey, Sarah, let's hit the sheet. I am exhausted. She would have been like, okay, let's do it.
I'm like, no
I
problem.
have never traveled with a more flexible human being.
Well, I mean, you're not very difficult, and it could go either way. And yeah, I'm fine. Because I know
How are
that
you fine either way?
Here's what I am looking for. What I am looking for is time to hang out and chit chat with my best gal pal.
Yeah.
And there are many ways to accomplish that. I knew that that my goal,
Yeah.
the thing I wanted that evening, chit-chatting with my bestie, was going to be accomplished in both of those
Either way,
situations.
that has happened.
And then your goal was, then I want food and alcohol.
Yeah, I did need some
So
sustenance.
then now both people's goals are
That's right.
win-win. So
And if we had decided to hit the sheets, we would have had pillow talk first.
100%.
Yeah,
It would have
that's
been like
right.
that. I can imagine it. It would have been like that. And so I knew either way I was going to get what I want. So I'm easygoing.
If it had been a hotel with room service, I probably would have gone that route.
Right.
But they just didn't have that.
I knew it. So
Okay, well,
I
that
knew it
was
gonna
great.
be-
And then also, Sarah and I got the distinct privilege and honor of holding the finish line for the pierogi race at the Pirates game.
I can't believe I rushed over all of our personal stuff. That these are such good stories. Guys, Susie is downplaying this. We were on the field at
Yeah.
a Major League Baseball game.
I mean, that is so cool.
It's so cool, and you especially don't think that when it's been 10 years since you've been on television, that you're gonna get new opportunities to do really cool things.
Yeah, that's right.
And so it just feels, I don't know, super fun, and I'm super grateful that I could keep doing those things. And I think that you and I have, in this podcast and what we do with doing Challenge Mania events and things like that, still, I don't know, stayed connected to people and to, I don't know, that world.
Yeah, it's like we get all the good stuff without all
Yeah.
the garbage.
And it's really nice now that we can get a little more of that and enjoy that. And that you get, and it's been really fun to watch you share it with your son and watch all the other challengers share it with their kids. That has been really
that is
cool.
An interesting turn of
Yes.
events, isn't it?
Yes.
Because
It's really
that is
fun.
true that at that event, Derek had his son and I had Lincoln. And then there's
And CT had his son.
Oh, yeah. Well, yes, that's right. And then on the next day, CT had his son. And these are like, we're all hooligans, you know, and yet we've settled down enough to breed,
Yes.
which is a delight.
Yeah, I had so many moments on that trip where I was kind of just observing, you know, kind of like just had moments of awareness, you know, even if you're not somebody who watched the challenge, you might be familiar with who CT is from, you know, Traders and other television shows and things he's done. He's a pretty big name. And it's so interesting to see somebody like CT still struggles with the exact same things that we all struggle with. I watched somebody have, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. I watched CT experience imposter syndrome, feeling like he wasn't good enough to be out there and having all those people cheer for him. I watched him talk about being in therapy. It was like, celebrities, they're just like us, and I think it's a really nice reminder. I love the work that I do as a therapist because I see that we are all dealing with the same things: relationship issues, parenting struggles, co-parenting challenges, like problems, the things that we've seen recently with, mental health issues with reality stars. Like, people are people, and we're all just doing the best we can here. And like we say, it's hard being a person.
Yeah. It's fun too, though, to see the people grow up and have like regular lives after watching them act like complete animals on reality TV. Yeah.
It's hard being a person, but it's a beautiful journey and really fun. And I love watching.
That's right. And that we're in it together.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what I'm in it together with, and that's Thrive Cosmetics, because they are crushing it. They are the best makeup in all the land.
Absolutely. Suze, if you remember, I went on a little girls' trip down to Scottsdale with all my friends, and we played this fun game. We did this fun thing for our girls' trip. We decided we're going to do like a gift exchange, but everybody's going to bring one item that's their favorite thing. Like, what is your favorite thing that's your go-to, like, beauty product or, like, whatever it is? And so I chose some Thrive Cosmetics.
How great is this?
I chose the Stella Eye Brightener because I know some of them are moms, some of them just, like, work crazy hours, have, like, are just, like, dealing with the stress of life. And who doesn't need a little eye brightener and something to, like, make them look a little bit fresh and fantastic?
Yeah, and I did a post on our Instagram, and then I was going to list all the items from my makeup bag that were Thrive that I used. Yes. And then it was taking too long, and I was just like, oh, fuck it. It's 20% off. Like, here's a coupon. Because there are so many. It's the eyeliner, the mascara, the eye brightener. I have actually right here, as a matter of fact, the lip gloss. This is Kaisa, Kaisa. But Thrive, I do have something for the suggestion box. Like, I cannot see that font is too small.
I think that might be just an us problem.
It's age.
Yeah.
This is ageist Thrive. But other than that, I love it. But all of their products are my absolute favorite. And we always rave about the mascara. You know how we say the Liquid Lash Extensions mascara is essential. But I really love all their products, and I love that they give back to the community and support causes that we are passionate about and help fund communities thrive. Try your new trusty favorites with an exclusive set for our listeners. New customers get the Liquid Lash Extensions mascara and a mini-sized Brilliant Eye Brightener at a special set price with free shipping, available at thrivecosmetics.com, or you can save more with 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/braincandy. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/braincandy for 20% off your first order. You can find all our codes, by the way, on thebraincandypodcast.com.
Yes.
All righty, Rue. Let's get into it, as the influencers say. I think I have to start with the Jayne Mansfield documentary. Yeah. If you are a longtime Brain Candy listener, you will know that I did an old gossip segment about Jayne Mansfield. Just to recap, here's the scoop. So Jayne Mansfield, siren of old Hollywood, total bombshell, hourglass, sex bomb. Hello, ladies. Yes. I mean,
you are gay for her.
Oh my God. She's pretty much as hot as a person can be. She is just like she's that famous image where she's spilling out of her dress and Sophia Loren, or I think Sophia Loren is side-eyeing her like, WTF, put those tits back in the box. And it is such a famous image because we're simultaneously like offended that your boobs are on show and like,
oh yes, oh my gosh, she is. Wow, look at those tits. Woo! Yes, lady. She's gorgeous.
3 cheers for this hot lady. Unfortunately, it's a blessing and a curse when you're, Sarah is like totally distracted right
Well,
now.
I'm sorry. I'm just like, that, whatever's holding her bra on is working, should get paid double.
For real.
Yeah.
And like
that tape is a paid actor.
If you just Google her, the images are just like one is, and just not just her body, but her face is just stunning. Anyway, it's a blessing and a curse when you are that, as my mom would say, dangerously beautiful, because it's almost like too much for people.
Yeah.
And so, of course, she's going to get cast in Hollywood, and of course, she's going to be successful. But there's a huge price to pay because literally no one cares a damn about your talent, your brain, even if they know you are smart, even if they know you are kind, even if they know that you are talented, they don't fucking care.
Right. That's always going to top, you know.
And so this was her cross to bear.
Yeah.
And so she kind of like openly, even in interviews, would say like, this is a tool that I use to get my foot in the door to attain what I really want, which was legitimate success and respect from her peers. And unfortunately, she really never got it. And she would like, they would trot her out on these talk shows and she would play her violin and she would play piano. She was super
she's so talented.
Accomplished. She spoke 4 languages, Hungarian, Italian, French, I think Spanish.
She was way before her time. This was
and everyone was like, yeah, shut up and kiss me. Literally, that's what Jack Parr said to her after she finished playing violin. He was like, yeah, kiss me.
Oh, that makes me sick.
It makes me sick. But anyway, so in the old gossip segment that I did, I told how she unfortunately and tragically died in a car crash.
God, that's
wherein
sad.
the vehicle went sort of underneath a big rig.
Yeah.
And, you know, basically took the top off the entire car.
Oh my God.
Everything was awful. But now they have like a bar in the back of trucks that prevent that. And it's called, I think, the Mansfield Bar.
Yes. Oh my God. Right.
And in the vehicle was her sons and Mariska Hargitay, her daughter, and her husband at the time and whatever. And the children, thank God, survived. And Mariska was only 3 years of age. And what is even more shocking is that Jayne's dad died in a car crash when she was 3 years of age, which is like, I had no idea.
That's
weird. She
grew
up without a dad because he died in a car crash when she was 3, just like Mariska.
That's a weird coincidence.
I'll say, I couldn't believe it. And it was just sort of, you know how they say like the universe just sort of keeps
that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, that is very strange.
But I won't say too much more because I've already said too much. But the documentary is outstanding.
And talk about Mariska Hargitay is such a departure from that idea of what her mom was. Like, she is.
Well, that was by design.
Yeah, and that is, it is really great that she got the success and fame
in a different way.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see that. My mind is thinking so many things.
And this isn't a spoiler because this was sort of how they promoted the film, but Mariska grew up believing that the man that raised her was her dad, but he wasn't. Oh. And so there is this man that Jayne had sort of not a fling, but like a short relationship with when she was on the rocks with her husband.
Yeah.
And they were like separated, so it wasn't like as scandalous as it sounds, but she returned to her husband and kind of like told the public that it was his baby.
Wow.
When she knew, the husband knew, and then the extra dad knew. So everyone kept this secret.
Wow.
From everyone, including from Mariska Hargitay, until she was like 30.
Wow. I bet she knew that. I bet she had. Wow. Her biography would be so interesting.
You won't, but that's why you'll love this, because that's what it actually feels like. That's what it feels like you're watching is two biographies at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's still relatable because it's dealing with those ideas of like the ways that women can leverage their beauty and sexuality to maybe get something, but the price that they pay for that.
Oof, fascinating.
And then the real problem of secrets, that nobody wins when there's secrets.
Nobody wins. I'm so anti-secret. Yep.
Why do we all fall for this trick? Like, we just think if we tuck this away, because do we think we can keep it a secret and then no one gets hurt?
I think it's the brain trying to maintain homeostasis and trying to prevent change. And so sometimes, I don't know, like playing dumb or ignoring things or pretending things aren't there is an easy way to trick the brain into maintaining some form of homeostasis. That's kind of like that thing I say of the certainty of misery is more comfortable than the misery of uncertainty. It feels like it kind of fits into that.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's powerful, and it made me cry. It was really emotional. I think you'll love it. I will. It's really moving. And you fucking love Law and Order with all your heart.
Love it.
Okay. Well, you should watch it.
Yeah, like when I was like 13, I got the box set of regular Law and Order for my birthday.
Is regular Law and Order still on?
I don't know. If it is, it's
one of the longest running shows in history.
Yeah.
And you're glad it is.
Yes.
Is that, but you like different one. You like SVU?
Yes, I do. Of course. I love it.
Oh, God. I'll tell you what I love, and that is Beam Kids. No joke about that.
Yes. Well, do you like getting your greens and probiotics and a bunch of great things for gut health and keeping you healthy in a delicious chocolatey flavor? Yes.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Most of these green drinks, I mean, they do the job, I guess, for your health, but like, they taste like
And there's nothing
sewage.
worse than the burps after you drink that disgusting,
I can't even think about it.
This, delicious.
Well, and you know it is because it could never continue if that happened, because this is designed for
kids.
kids.
Can't pass the kid test if it's
kids
gross.
are like, F off.
Yeah, right.
They're not going for that. What they will go for is something that tastes like chocolate milk.
Yes. Kids and Sarah.
And Sarah. And now they have a new chocolate chip cookie flavor. And let me tell you,
Yes.
2 thumbs up over here. I love it. It's so good. It tastes like dessert. Works like a multivitamin. What do you want? Okay.
Yes.
And, Lincoln always asks for a double. So that's how you really know. And now's the perfect time to try it, because Beam is offering an exclusive deal for our listeners. For a limited time, you can get up to 35% off plus 2 free gifts when you go to shopbeam.com/braincandy. Use code braincandy at checkout. That's shopbeam, BEAM.com/braincandy. Use code braincandy for up to 35% off and 2 free gifts. It's got 40 essential nutrients, vitamins, pre and probiotics, all the good stuff. Pediatrician formulated. Sean Johnson is the sort of brains behind the operation too.
Love her.
Alrighty. So watch that documentary. You will love it. Do you want to talk about the poop cruise or like?
Yes,
not really?
Sure do.
Did you watch that?
Sure did. I do not recommend watching it if you are eating. Don't watch it if you are even thinking about eating. Or, you know what else it's made me? It made me really not want to go into porta potties. I never wanted to begin with, but...
Yeah.
Oof.
Well,
Oof.
listen.
Okay.
I hate to say I told you so, not to you, but to the listeners.
Yeah.
But
no, just
I have always said, especially since COVID, that cruises are floating toilets.
Yes. You
and
are
there
correct.
is nothing that could demonstrate that better than Trainwreck's Poop Cruise on Netflix. Because it took about 5 minutes after they lost power before they are swimming in swamp water.
Right.
BM everywhere.
What? So listeners, there's this cruise, Carnival Cruise. It's supposed to be like 3 days, 2 nights.
Yeah. Hoot and
Quick.
holler.
Like,
Weekend getaway.
yeah, real
No
quick.
problemo.
They end up, I believe, on day morning of day 1 or
No,
day 2.
it was right
day
before
2?
they were supposed to go home.
Oh, it was right before they were supposed
Party
to
was
go
almost
home.
over.
Okay.
Yeah.
They lose power. All the generators go out, which means that the engines, everything loses power, and they're just going to start drifting. So this is, my girlfriend and I were talking about it, and she's like, couldn't they have just, used the extra boats they had and gone to shore? They were too far out, right?
That's right.
For that
Yeah,
to
they
be
were too
safe
far
and to
out.
have,
That's right.
they had drifted really, really far out. They needed tugboats to pull them back in. How many days did this end up being? I think it was
close. Wait, what were you going to say?
like 9.
Okay, I was going to say 7, but yeah, it was like a week or more.
Yeah, for sure.
Where they thought it was just going to be a couple days. And then next thing you know, it's just poop everywhere. They're sleeping on the deck, on mattresses on the deck. And they have, thank God for that crew who had given them sandwiches and stuff. God bless the crew. But they are just, that's what is crazy to me about cruises. You are like 2 problems away from
Yep.
SOS.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. There were so many things. So when you can imagine, you can't flush, you can't do anything like that. So they're coming up with ideas of what are we going to do? How do we do this? And they said, well, you can't just like shit off the side. You can't, that's not going to work. They said, okay, well, you can pee in the shower. That worked for a little. And one time I dated this guy who thought it was okay to pee in the shower at hotel rooms. It made the whole hotel room smell like pee. And that was in a hotel where the water was running. And there weren't a bunch of people doing it. I could only imagine what this would be like with an entire cruise of people doing that. Then they said, okay,
it's not a bad idea if you're in a pinch.
If you're in a pinch.
Yeah.
Then they said, well, that'll work for number 1s, but what about number 2s?
Right.
Their idea was, we're going to give you guys these red plastic bags, basically like hazard material bags.
Yes, hazmat bags.
And you're going to go number 2 in those and then like leave them like a dog, like we're picking up after a dog.
Oh my God, yes.
In their little poo bags. Could you, how?
I would feel really bad for people like you who have just really scheduled nice
But here's the
VMs.
thing. My body is very good at shutting it down.
I know.
When
that's
I
actually
need to.
true.
Because my girlfriend and I laughed that like the first month of our relationship, neither of us went to the bathroom. Like it was almost a problem.
Absolutely.
So,
I will never.
No.
Ever.
And you've seen my house. Yeah, right. You're basically shitting with the door open.
Forget
or behind one of those like folding like Japanese curtains or like rice paper curtains. Like that's what it's like to go to the bathroom in my house. So nope.
Absolutely not. No.
No.
As Sarah said.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's for real, that would be my time to shine. I'd be like, thank God I am a literal tight ass.
Yes.
But at any rate, even if you're like, I can hold it, whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter, because next thing you know, they hit a little bit of a rough water.
Yeah.
And that BM is coming back up.
It was when the tugboats, like you can imagine, the boat is drifting. This is a huge vessel, bigger than anything you imagine. It's headed in one direction with a lot of, moving slowly, but with a lot of force, right? And now you're taking a tugboat and you are applying opposite momentum, which then causes everything that was going in one direction to go in the other direction. Mm-hmm. And like the splash zone at SeaWorld.
Splashing.
Everywhere was soaking wet with pee and feces. And as somebody who hates mysterious wetness, this was my literal worst nightmare.
Literal
worst.
What would you do? Would you just jump off? I could see you doing that, being like, I'm a really good swimmer.
I would be this close. I'd be like, I will fucking take my chances.
Like
what's
if you
what's
thought
your name?
the land
did it?
was
Like,
even in eye line, I think you would have jumped.
I'm out of there. Yep. Like, you know what I would have done? When the other ship came by, that's when I would have been off that boat.
Yes.
When the other ship came by, I would have been like, look, I jumped off. Now you got to rescue me. You can't pull me up. Like, I'll swim close as I can to that other boat. Hopefully somebody will rescue me. That would have been my move.
Did they say at the end, like, if these poor fools, I remember they got a certain amount of...
I think that's the biggest takeaway.
Yeah.
There is a clause or I don't know, whatever they call it, some article in the contract that you sign when you go on a cruise that says that they cannot guarantee safe passage, clean environment, like
literally anything,
literally
air,
anything,
water.
because it makes sense. It's too difficult to be able to do that and then refund all of those passengers. It would bankrupt. You can't do it. So they ended up getting a $500 credit or stipend or something like that, and then one free cruise.
A free cruise. Can you imagine?
On the same cruise line.
Same cruise line.
Yeah.
Because here's just a tip, pro tip.
Yeah.
Any adventure that cannot guarantee potable water, they can't guarantee it.
Don't go on that adventure.
Hit the road, Jack.
Hit the road, Jack. Get out.
I cannot hear you anymore.
I said, get out. But I whispered it.
It's so funny how, like, when you're being adamant, sometimes you go totally
so
quiet.
Like, you gotta
I get why.
Yeah.
Because it's like the depth of your soul.
Yes. My God, don't do it, people. I am so much more comfortable in a situation where I literally have to, like, filter the water through the sand and drink it, like, through my fucking sock in, like, a backpacking situation and shit in the woods and bury that than be stuck on that boat with all those people.
Yeah, because that feels natural.
Yes. Oh.
This feels like unnatural.
Ain't nothing natural about being on a floating.
Right.
Gave a whole new meaning to the term poop deck.
Oh.
And nobody used that joke even one time, which is such a waste. Such a fucking waste.
That's got to be the end of the promo. I got to, like, put that in there. Sarah's, like, writing our promos. This is like gold. Gold, Jerry.
Gold, I tell you.
I would recommend watching it though, because it's funny, but, like, even though it's disturbing. Yeah, do you want to say something else?
There was something else that I wanted to say about it, and I can't remember.
Poop deck is a hoot.
It was definitely disgusting. Oh yes, that what I did like, and I think kind of tells you something about humanity, or what happens when we're in one of those situations, is when they got off the boat, people were positive overall. They were not.
No, yeah, they were.
It was really sweet. People were just really excited to be off the boat.
What's your explanation for that?
That when that they had a common enemy, and the common enemy was the poop, and was being stuck on that boat. The boat was the enemy, and it wasn't any one person to blame. So as long as you were able to keep spirits high and everybody, was like, it's us against the boat.
Yeah.
And that says so much about the woman who was the cruise director.
I mean,
she was a doll.
She has a great job now because she deserves
it. I hope so too. And I thought I could have. I missed my calling as a cruise director.
You would have been. You could still do this.
That was. I did get a job offer before I went on the challenge to be a port director for a cruise line.
As a hop, skip, and a jump.
Right. But they wanted me to cover up all my tattoos, and it was in the Bahamas. And I was like, that's crazy.
Well, that's weird.
Yeah. It's like, I could be an excellent port director.
Basically selling things. Sort of like, I agree with you. I agree with you about the common enemy. I think that is truly part of what, at minimum, bonded them and made them not turn on each other too much.
Because it could have gone either way. When they opened up the bar and then closed the bar, I was like, what's going to happen? I really thought that there's no way they're going to survive this.
Yes. And I think there was a little bit of that at first. And then they realized, like, listen, we got to sort it out. Right. But I think there's another component, which is the type of person that goes on cruises. They are fucking social, extrovert.
Yes.
They're the person that talks to you in line when you're waiting at Target. And you're like, yeah, enough. They are that person who just like a Labrador. They're just like, hey, let's have fun. Let's play let's do limbo.
They all could be cruise directors themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. And so like that personality, and I'm not it, but I like appreciate that they have this gift. They are willing to be like, you know what? Hey, shit happens.
Right.
Literally.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe it's the same as, like the plane crash with the soccer team, and you think this is like a
but they
athletes that work as a team, and there's some, it's like the type of people who are in that survival situation that make all the difference.
That's
very interesting.
Yep, but you should
watch write a whole book on that.
It's we actually could and should,
and it would be a great book.
We have so many plans.
I know.
Of things we should do.
Right.
Something that would make that cruise easier to deal with, though, is comfy clothes. And that's what Honey Love's got cooking with their shapewear and athlege.
Yes. Athlege for all occasions.
That's right.
Yes. And Susie and I can tell you, we have been wearing those leggings. I mean, it's got to be going on like 5+ years, maybe more.
10.
Yeah. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've been working with Honey Love for a fair amount of time.
There you go. No pilling.
No pilling.
I'm still
no
wearing no stretch out. No fading. No fading.
No fading.
I didn't even think about that. They're still there. Yes. Mm-hmm. No stretched out waistband. No like elastic that gets all like, and it's going to keep you nice and tucked in because it's got that supportive panel. You don't have to wear your chonies with it, which I love. And it's got the little pocket for your phone. They're the perfect airport pants.
That pocket is critical.
Yes.
Because I've had ones that do not have it, and
I recently lost something that could have easily fit in an airport situation, and had I been wearing my pants, that would have been right in there. So
I'm so sorry that happened. Was it your vape pen?
No, that's funny.
It's like you my AirPods. Say. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I felt like you were hiding it, and I was like, no, I want to know what it is.
I just, felt like I was name dropping another brand.
Gotcha. Well, they have shorts, they have leggings, they have even a little black dress that holds you in proper shapewear style that you can wear to weddings or fucking funerals, wherever the hell you're going where you got to wear a dress. It is awesome. Treat yourself to the most comfortable shapewear on earth. Save 20% off site-wide at honeylove.com/braincandy. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off honeylove.com/braincandy. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show. Tell them we sent you. Experience the new standard in shapewear with Honey Love. Ain't that the truth?
Yes.
Okay, I got to hurry or I'm not going to get to our table of contents items. Okay.
Because I like to talk so much. What?
Okay. So I watched the Sally Ride documentary.
Yeah.
About the amazing astronaut, trailblazer, badass bitch.
Lesbian icon.
And I don't know.
Uh-oh.
The documentary was great. I loved it. But I could do without.
Okay. Hang on. Is this one of those things?
Yeah.
Where the personality, the type of person who
That's exactly right, Sarah.
Okay.
You say it though. You say it.
In order to do what you did at that time, to be the first female astronaut to break all those barriers, you kind of have to be a little bit of a bitch. Like by other people's I don't know. I feel like we've seen this before. We've seen this in who else did you? Barbara Walters. I feel like she kind of fit that too.
100%.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, Sarah, you nailed it. And while I understand that, and just so anyone listening knows, I hate this in men too.
Right.
It's not just that I'm applying it to ladies. I do not like when people are like this. But you're right. It's this catch-22 where in order to be a badass bitch, in order to be a trailblazer, and to be the first, whether you're a person of color, queer
Yeah.
person,
Yeah.
a minority of any kind, woman, you kind of have to be ruthless.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to
you
just
know
like
what?
let you come through.
And sometimes the men too.
Well, right. Well, they do it like regardless.
Right.
They
They're
don't
like
need
that
to.
too. Yeah, exactly. So they're just kind of fitting like it's a little bit of both.
But I guess maybe where I'm a little bit of a hypocrite possibly is that like, I think with some groups, they're open about it. She wanted to be likable and like, oh, what? I don't need to be first. And that's probably a social conditioning thing where you have to act like that to be feminine. So maybe I'm just saying I might be the problem here.
And maybe she was trying really hard to also not get outed. Like she wasn't out, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That was
so
the
I think
biggest
that's a
part of
big
the
layer
film.
to it. That I think there's a lot of it of maybe how she's that maybe, I don't know, trying to be demure in a way. I guess I'll call it like that.
That's
it
right.
is a little bit of like masking.
Mm-hmm.
Because then if she were like her true self, I bet people would be like, gay. Right?
I think you're right, Sarah.
I do.
But the film is great. It's on maybe Hulu, I think maybe.
Okay.
And it's a National Geographic film. And she is remarkable. She had a PhD in astrophysics.
Wow.
She came from a family, how I guess what I think you'll take away if you watch it is the important parts for me weren't about her accomplishments. It was about the consequences of the family you grow up in. And that in this case, that was about keeping things inside. You do not talk about your feelings. You do not talk about the gay stuff, even though her only sister was also gay.
What?
And then like an
out
Lutheran pastor,
Oh,
reverend.
Wow.
And she wouldn't even talk about her gayness
fascinating.
with her. Like they all knew she was gay, but she wouldn't talk about it.
Interesting.
I mean, this is a woman with very deep stuff that is keeping it
when
inside.
you see such a difference in that really shows that there was a family like belief or these expectations that we were not going to share.
What's awesome is even though unfortunately Sally Ride has passed away, her mother is still alive, and she was in the documentary. And they interviewed her, and they said, why are you so like reserved about your feelings? And she said something like, if I knew how I felt about my feelings, I probably wouldn't tell you. And I was like,
wow,
that is like a Rubik's Cube of holy shit.
Oh my God. That is like, I'm thinking like a therapist would like, it's
wait,
like
what?
so cryptic that
basically
that would take
like if
so
she's
long.
not even thinking about her feelings.
Right. That would take so long to eat the disconnect from her body and her own emotional state. Woo! That would take a while.
But in a way,
therapy.
it sort of touches upon this idea of secrets again, of
Yes.
course, because Sally Ride had, which by the way, last name theory, hello.
Right. Totally.
She had a lady partner for 27 years. And that partner was out before they were together, was like proud, loud and proud.
I had to go way back.
But I had to kind of like go quiet because of Sally. And so she lived in that kind of cage for 27 years. And
It's really hard.
I just don't know. That is kind of shitty to ask somebody to do that.
Oh, it's really shitty. And I can't imagine that wasn't a frequent argument in their relationship. Because it's asking somebody to be who they're not. I mean, to put on a mask and pretend. And that feels, I don't know.
At the end of the film, her partner said, I've thought long and hard about what motivated her to be so private and not come out publicly. And all I can come up with is fear.
Yeah.
And
of
for
course.
that, it's very sad.
Yeah.
And that is very sad. When you're asking everyone to see how brave you are, because you are, for being an astronaut and a badass bitch, and you want to inspire girls, but you have this other thing.
There is something about the awareness of being perceived by the masses that I think really affects our ability to be vulnerable and authentic. Because we see this in so many people. Richard Simmons, Paul Rubens. This is just something that we see
what you're saying is homophobia is effective in their aim of causing people to feel less than, put into a corner and silenced. And it is stupid and toxic. Yeah. And what could have happened, what she could have accomplished if she had been free to be herself. And that's from her folks too, like not just society.
Because look at, what's the amazing tennis player who
Billie Jean King?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like she could have gone Billie Jean King route.
She was in the film.
Really? Because it feels almost like
they
the
were
same
friends.
kind of age. Yeah, of course they were.
Yeah. Because her partner was a tennis pro. Sarah is crushing it.
Do I even need to watch this documentary?
You actually don't need to. Like, it's crazy how good she is at fan fiction.
Lesbian intuition.
We'll call it fan nonfiction.
Yeah, exactly.
At this point.
Yes.
But you have to watch it because,
I really am.
and then we have to talk about it because I'm not saying a lot of stuff, even though I'm talking too much. I'm still keeping things that I want to talk about with you. So, will you watch it?
Yes, I will. Of course.
Okay. All right. The birthday effect.
Tell me. This is fascinating.
Okay, so there have been studies, many, many studies that have shown that you are more likely to die on your birthday. Well, that is real strange.
Yeah.
And so my favorite sort of data processing outlet, the Pudding, wanted to put it to the test. And so they put in all this data for birthdays. So you get all the birthdays, and then let's say your birthday is January 1st. Then if you die on January 1st, you have like a score of 0. If you die January 2nd, your score is 1.
Got it.
However many days away.
Yes.
On either end.
Yes.
Is like your number. And then they put it into like a graph. And if it were random, it would be a flat line.
Right.
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 But it isn't. It is not a flat line. And there is a spike on birthdays. There are spikes on other days as well. But that's step one. Is like, okay, there is a spike.
Fascinating. My grandma's living proof.
So, okay.
Died
and you're
the morning of her 99th birthday.
And that's the thing. The fact that it was 99 feels important too.
Absolutely.
Because 98 is like not that special.
Right.
99 is way more special. Yeah. And obviously 100, but she knew she wasn't going to go 365.
Right.
Okay. So leading up to her death, was she able to communicate?
In and out.
Was there any sense of like her wanting to make it to that day?
I think there was a sense of her wanting to hold on to ensure that everybody was like, was okay.
She wasn't even thinking about herself.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
it
for
felt
Pete's
like
sake.
I got to make sure everybody's okay. And, or the other thing I think is that my grandma wanted people to be together and wanted my mom and her sister to maybe be together. And the thing that would bring people together would be a birthday. So there's something maybe, I think even subconscious, that knows that this might be a reason for people to show up. People are going to be there. They're going to be together so they can come for each other. And she was right. People did. They were there that day.
Wow.
And, yeah.
All right. Well, so they found that not only was the birthday effect real, but it is also statistically significant.
Love it.
And that is even true when they would control for seasonal variation. So, like, for example, more people statistically die in January.
Right.
Right. Than another month. So if you have a January birthday, you are more likely to have the birthday effect happen to you because you're more likely to die in that month. So even when they controlled for that, there was still a spike on birthdays.
Yep.
And then, okay.
Wow.
If you were just thinking about it, what for you do you think? Because for me, it would be like the postponement effect of like your grandma. Like, I want to make it to 99. I want that to happen. Is that what your theory would be as to why this would even be a thing?
It could be a little bit of that. Also, what I've noticed in my work as a therapist is I will absolutely see, it's clients I've worked with for a few years, I can anticipate like behavioral changes based on anniversaries or holidays that are coming up.
Yeah.
Teachers tend to get really anxious right before, like as soon as school is about to be over, and when they're used to a schedule and all of a sudden there's no schedule. And we're all like this, you know,
predictive.
like I was like that. Students are the same. Students and teachers, it's like when the schedule changes, you're going to see, you know,
shifts
changes.
and,
I'm one who like, I see this in my mom, always anxious around Thanksgivings. And like there's a spike in some, I don't know what it is, but like around Thanksgiving for her. So you get, and people aren't aware that they're doing
That's
this.
right.
So I also, another like piece of information that like floats into my brain with this is when somebody is, say, and stick with me here, addicted to drugs, and they are in the environment that they usually do their like drug of choice in. Their body, they don't even have to start doing the drug. If they just walk into that environment, their body will already start to do the things to help protect it and like
we know this, yes, with
the drug.
People get if they drink
yes
every day in the same situation, they are less inebriated than if they then go to a concert and do the exact same amount of alcohol, drink the exact same amount. Their inebriation is higher chemically.
Yes. And the risk of overdose is higher if there's a change in location.
The context matters.
Yes. So to me, if we take that knowledge, that information, that the context matters, that your body and brain are doing something to prep you for a situation before you've even decided that you're going to do anything. Then you add an awareness of like, I don't know, that birthday. Like you add the other things in there and like wanting to hold out for a certain amount of time.
It all matters.
It all matters. And when you add all those things together and look at all those different variables, that's what I think causes that birthday
I totally
effect.
agree with you. I think it's very fascinating, but obviously true.
Right.
That nobody just dies in a vacuum. Well, what if you did, though? What if you literally died inside a vacuum? But like my Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Okay, sorry. But that all these other variables affect your chemicals and how you behave and the choices you make and how you feel, blah, blah, blah. Right. Yeah, okay.
And your mind is going to be doing something. Your body is going to be doing something. So even that increase, like, could you imagine okay. Also, if you have like I don't know, like a car that's about to run out of gas if you've ever been in that situation.
Right.
And it'll stop a little bit. And then you press on the gas and it'll get like one little like combustion.
Totally.
Where it'll like get a little bit of a boost. I could see the way that the mind is anticipating an event like this.
Yes.
Giving...
Absolutely.
Like blowing the circuit out one last time. Like one last little bit of energy. This is like all we got. And after that...
Yes, because
it crashes.
Mean, on a smaller scale, like a more micro scale, on these movies and stuff, you often hear people say, you know, my brother, he was flying in from wherever, and we really wanted so and so to live long enough to see that person.
Yes,
and then
all the time it happens.
They were getting there, and and then they made it, and then 2 seconds later, the person expires, right? And I said to Adam one time, well, how do you explain that? Because I don't know what that is. And he had been there when his dad passed. And so he felt that in his experience, that he said, do you know what it's like when you're you're so sleepy and you're falling asleep, but like you don't want to. You're trying to stay awake for something.
Yes.
And like you kind of like keep jerking yourself awake. Yes. And like then you'll go, and he's like, I think it's like that at death, where there is like a motor there that like can temporarily, hopefully last until whatever they're waiting for. And that is fascinating. But I think you're right.
It's very peaceful.
Yeah, in that case it is. In what you're describing, where it's just like you have this urge or something to hang on for. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
What I did not account for in the birthday effect and never even considered, because I'm picturing old people. Yeah. Some people are dying young on their birthday.
That's wild.
That is a different effect.
Like that accidents?
Is the celebratory effect.
Oh, we're party on our birthday, and now the accidents
We're going to bungee jump on our birthday.
Yeah.
We're going to get wasted.
Right.
Shot.
This is like 4th of July fireworks shit. This is like
that didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
Whenever I heard about the birthday effect, it was like the young people.
I didn't think about that either. That
celebratory
like
suicides,
effect.
And then the celebratory stuff.
Oh man.
But mostly the data shows it is mostly old people.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I can't wait for when this episode comes out, and we have all the listeners who write in and say that their grandparent or loved one passed away on their birthday. So send us your stories, send us DMs to the Brain Candy Instagram.
Yeah, and on Spotify, people can comment. I've been reading people's comments, and I'm like having to write back because they're getting things wrong. Like they're saying things that I'm like so on top of it, because I'm like, because somebody said Susie is such a hypocrite because she says everybody needs therapy, but she doesn't get therapy. She just asks Sarah for therapy.
Oh, that is ridiculous. You do get therapy. They're so silly.
I was like, but that's the bonus, is Sarah.
Right.
That's not the whole deal.
Yeah, how silly.
Anyway,
just asked Sarah.
I was like, maybe I'm not making this clear because I don't do shout out to Sherry.
Right, that's funny.
Okay, anyway, so the sort of conclusion of the article of the birthday effect was the birthday effect shows that mortality isn't just about biology or random chance. It's influenced by social constructs and also personal significance. So like if something's important to you, you can have,
it's amazing.
It's so cool. And I didn't even get to the lead poisoning of freaking serial killers, but I mean,
save it for next time.
Just like as a teaser for next time, because I will get to it.
Yeah.
There's a book out called Murderland, and this, like I said, this author posits that it's not just biological stuff that determines whether someone becomes a serial killer. There are environmental factors. So remember when we talked on the show a while back about how leaded gas is a major contributor to mental health issues now.
Yes.
And it's basically the same idea that the environmental situation in the Pacific Northwest at that time created sort of a mental health issue with people that live there. So if you also have these other ingredients that can create a disturbed person, that certainly doesn't help.
That's fascinating to me. I would love that as one of our book club picks, something like that.
Ooh, yeah. Well, it's a doozy, though. It's 400 pages.
Whoa. Oh, wow. Okay.
I was like, oh. But funnily enough, at this very same time, and I haven't read this yet, so I'll have to look into it before I do the full coverage of it. But there are a lot of people who believe that we're finding out that vape pens have lead, some sort of chemical that could be contributing to the Gen Z anxiety and other issues crisis.
Absolutely.
Which is, like delightful for me, like validating when I'm like, what is wrong with Gen Z?
Yeah.
But who knows? I'm sure they're just beginning to even consider things like this. And it's probably anecdotal and whatever.
Fascinating and things that need to keep getting
correlation.
researched. Yeah.
Not causation. Yeah. But it's important. I guess it's just a good reminder that there are a lot of things that contribute to the behaviors of human beings.
Yep. So many.
Keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Make good choices, people.
Yeah.
It's a jungle out there.
It sure is.
But anyway, those are my things. And I hope you do watch the Sally Ride doc, the Poop Cruise, and most importantly, My Mom Jayne on HBO Max.
I can't wait to watch that.
Thanks for listening.
You're the best, Sooz.
Delicious dish. You're on the air. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And check out all of our codes on thebraincandypodcast.com and go to patreon.com/braincandy if you want any reality TV content. We love you.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.